Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, the 22nd. Welcome back to Gratitude and Gains, where every morning we're going to get moving. We're going to reflect, set our goals and our wins for the week so that we can keep growing and we can keep climbing higher. Super excited that you're here today. Welcome to the Who You Know show, where what you know is important, but who you know can make all the difference in your wealth, health, business, career, your relationships, and life. Today, I'm especially grateful to celebrate 1 full week smoke-free, okay? 7 days in, super excited about that, and had another sober weekend. No alcohol, no smoking, no nothing, okay? Actually got to spend some time with some good friends and do some paddle boarding this weekend, which was amazing. So had a good time. So today we're going to talk about resilience. We're going to talk about mentorship, and we're going to talk about keeping our eyes fixed on the bigger picture. So again, super excited that you're here with me this morning. Hopefully you got your blood pumping, you're moving, you're getting active. So as you start to come into the chat or come in to the room, let me know where you're tuning in from. Rep your city, rep your hood. Would love to hear from you and give you a shout out as you get in here with us this morning. So a couple of things that I'd like to share I'm grateful for as I was writing in my prayer journal this morning. One of the things I'm grateful for is that I had a productive meeting with my managing partner last week, and it had been a little while since we had spoke, and I got to talking with him and sharing some things with him, some of my goals, and I mentioned to him that I don't really have a mentor for myself. I don't have a coach myself. You know, I coach people all the time. I mentor people all the time, but I don't have one myself. And so I asked him if he would do that for me, if he would be a mentor me, and he agreed. So super excited about that because, you know, he's somebody I look up to. He's super busy guy. You know, he's got a lot of things going on. And he agreed to take the time out every week. We're going to meet on a weekly basis, which is huge. It's going to be huge for my focus. It's going to be huge for my accountability. So I'm excited about that because, you know, he didn't have to do that. And he's taking the time out. He said that you know, he would make it a priority because, you know, he saw the value in the fact that I'm a type of person that would actually benefit from it. He said not everybody would get that because not everybody would benefit from it. Not everybody would take action. Not everybody would be the type of person that would actually, I guess, do the things necessary. And that makes a big difference when you think about it. I'm the same way. When I'm coaching somebody, like if I see they're putting in the work, I will give them the shirt off my back. I will do whatever it takes to help get them to that next level. But if I see they're the type of person that is like full of excuses and, you know, not showing up, not putting in the effort, not putting in the work, like they're not going to get anything from me. I'm not going to do it for them. So that's basically what he said, that, you know, he would do it for me because he could see that I was the type of person that could actually get results from it. So, and actually get an impact. So that was pretty cool. Super excited about that. We're going to start this week. And yeah, it's going to be huge for my focus and my accountability, and he's someone I look up to. So that was a huge win last week. Again, as I mentioned earlier, 1 full week with no smoking. That's a massive win for me. I've been smoking since I was about 10 years old. And those of you that have kind of following me on this journey as we've been doing this Gratitude and Gains series, it's tough, but you can do it. So for those of you that are out there that smoke, just know you can do it too. I think for me, it's a little bit easier than maybe for some others. And I'll explain why. For me, when I smoked, it was just in the evening time to wind down, to kind of like calm down. And really, it helped put me to sleep, to be honest with you. I mean, it was like a sleep aid. I mean, I would smoke, it would wind me down. But the reason why I said that it was easier for me maybe is because I really only have to, I only get cravings in the evening. I don't even crave it during the day. During the day, I have no cravings. It's always been that way. But when the night falls, when the sun goes down, that's when the cravings come up. But so I really only have to get through a few hours, of having those cravings. So, but it's not been that bad, I mean, it's been a week now. And again, the alcohol, quitting drinking altogether, the reason why the drinking had to go is because I had done this before. I had quit smoking and got about 6 days cold turkey. And then I went out and I had a couple drinks. And after I'd had a couple drinks, that was it. All of a sudden, I wanted to smoke again. And I did. I didn't have the willpower to make it through when I had been drinking. When you drink, you're like, I don't care. I just want what I want. And so that's what happened. And so I was like, you know what? In order for me to quit smoking, I got to quit drinking. And drinking was easier. That was not hard for me at all. It's been about a month now with no alcohol, period, zero. So that was easy. And now the smoking. So again, grateful for that week, a full week, no smoking. It's been about a month, no alcohol. Okay. So I'm going to keep showing up here every morning and sharing with you guys where I'm at. Because if I have a relapse or if I have something like that happens, I want to share it with you guys and be open so you guys can hold me accountable, because if I know I'm going to have to come out here and tell you, that might prevent me from doing it in the first place. So again, I'm excited about that. That was one thing I'm grateful for. No slipping into old patterns this weekend. And I'm grateful for the breath in my lungs to keep climbing higher. I noticed, one of the things that caused me to kind of start this transformation was I noticed, see, you just heard me do it right now, a little clearing of my throat. That right there. Okay. I started noticing that. I was like, oh man, that's not good. I noticed I was clearing my throat, kind of like phlegm or whatever you want to call it. And that was from smoking, So I'm getting rid of that. There's this stuff called Mullen. I got these Mullen gummies that are like a lung detox. So, look, I'm not getting any younger, y'all. And I don't want to be out here, huffing and puffing. I got to keep things in shape. So I'm grateful for the breath in my lungs and the strength to keep going higher and higher and higher. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it rolling. All right. So this morning I was reading scripture. was reading Acts 27 and 28. And to give you some context of what was going on, Paul, he was facing a violent storm on his way to Rome. Okay, storm was crashing down, and the shipwreck, it looked like the end, but God promised that no lives would be lost. And so later on in Malta, Paul was actually bitten by a snake, but didn't suffer any harm. He was like nothing happened. Everybody thought he was gonna die. They thought he was like cursed or something, but he didn't suffer any harm and was able to heal a lot of people by ministering to them and preaching to them. And so a couple of takeaways that I wrote down as I was reading was storms don't always mean defeat. I want you to think about that. Sometimes the storm that you go through is just part of the journey. It's not the end of it. It's just part of the journey. And just like Paul, we might lose the ship, but not the mission. See, he was on a mission. And it's important to be aligned with your mission. And if you don't know your mission, your purpose, your calling, it's important to ask for that. Because, again, as you have trials and tribulations, as you have things going on in your life that are pushing you around, pushing the ship around, the waves are crashing up on you. If you don't have that mission that you're on, you can get lost. You can get lost at sea, But if you have a goal, a mission, something you're trying to accomplish, a target, it'll help you to keep pushing through. And so just like Paul in this example, you might lose the ship, but you're not going to lose the mission. So storms don't always mean defeat. Another thing I wrote down was that God promises hold. God's promises hold. So in Acts 27, Paul declares, he says, "Keep up your courage, for I have faith in God that it will happen just as he told me." So God's promises hold steady. That was another thing I wrote down. Another thing I wrote was your survival is for a purpose, right? Think about all the things that you have been through that seemed like it was, oh man, you ever been through those times in your life where it's like, it feels hopeless. It feels like you don't know how you're going to get through, but you do. You find a way. You persevere. You figure it out, and you find a way to get through to the other side. But it's for a purpose. Paul wasn't just spared for himself. He was sent to witness in Rome. And he was on a mission, right? He was sent to witness in Rome. And the storm was just really to kind of set the stage for his testimony. So remember that your survival is for a purpose. Your scars, the things you've been through, your stories are your testimony of what God has gotten you through. Okay? And then the last thing I wrote down was shaking off the snakes. Okay? In Acts 28, Paul gets bitten by a viper. And everybody thought at first he was like cursed. Okay? But he just shook it off. He just shook off the viper and kept moving forward. And that's exactly what we need to do in our lives with our addictions, our temptations, our doubts, right? We just need to shake them off, keep moving forward, keep rocking, keep rolling, keep going, okay? And that's what I'm doing right now, getting rid of some of these addictions and temptations and just trying to clean up my life, you know, and be a better version of myself every single day. I'm not perfect by any means, but you just got to shake off those snakes and keep rocking and rolling, all right? So those were just a couple of my notes I was taking as I was reading Acts 27 and 28. So a couple of reflections. Again, I'm grateful for this beautiful day, another chance to change, to improve, to get better, to become a better man. Lord, help me to fill my evenings being more productive. Something that I know I need help with is I have a great morning routine, but I need a better evening routine, okay? I need to shape my evenings much better to be more productive in things like church, right? I want to get into some more church groups, midweek groups, more fitness groups, different things like that, and really preparing myself for my future wife, my future family, right? Those of you that know, like, I'm single, don't have any kids, 38. And you know what? I've lived life for me for too long. It's time to leave a legacy and have a family. So that's something I'm focused on. So I'm doing these things, guys, because again, I want to prepare myself for that next generation, for my future spouse, my future children one day, hopefully. And that's what I'm doing right now. Just trying to get myself ready, trying to get myself prepared. So things like, again, church, midweek groups, fitness, all these different things, and doing a better job at having an evening routine. I have a great morning routine, but I need a better evening routine. So guys, hold me accountable for that. What do you guys do in the evenings? What does your evening routine look like? Tell me in the chat. Another thing I wrote down here was there's a kind of a parallel between Paul's storm in Acts 27-28 and my own journey as I quit smoking, resisting Friday night temptations and loneliness, and I start to build new routines. There's kind of a parallel there. And just as Paul shook off the snake, I'm also shaking off the temptations of cigarettes, alcohol, things like that, and habits that once held me back. So I'm shaking those things off just like Paul shook off the snake. All right, so a couple of my goals that I have for today. I've got some goals. One of those is to meet with my mentor to set some new accountability targets. I want to make sure to have those targets set so that way we can meet on a weekly basis. And I'm excited to hit those targets. So I'm going to be meeting with him this Wednesday. And that's kind of the first thing that I want to do is go over targets. What are the things I'm looking to accomplish? What are the goals? So that we can put together a plan to get there, right? So I'm excited about that. Again, I'm still studying for my Series 65. And if I'm being transparent, that's something I need to be better at. I read the book already, but it's easy to like, I haven't been as consistent with my practice tests, so I need to be super consistent with that because I don't want to let I don't want to lose momentum. I've already started to build momentum, and I don't want to start losing momentum or start backsliding on that. Another one of my goals this week is to do a little research on different groups for my evening, to put together a better evening routine. So that's another thing I need to do, is to set some time aside to do research. Just look up different groups, look up different things that I would be interested in, and put it in my calendar for the evening during the week. So super excited about that, guys. I got a few questions for you guys. What's a storm that you've gone through that actually positioned you for your purpose? I want you to think about that. It's a reflection question. What's one storm that you've gone through that's actually positioned you for your purpose? What habits or snakes do you need to shake off in your own life right now? What do you need to get rid of? Just like for me, cigarettes, alcohol, gotta go. Okay? Got to go. What is it for you? What do you need to shake off? And then another question for you that I have is, who's mentoring you? Who is coaching you? Who is sharpening you? Right? Iron sharpens iron. Who are you mentoring? Who are you coaching? Right? Sometimes, when I'm doing coaching, a lot of transformation happens for me as well as I'm coaching someone else. So who are you mentoring? Who's mentoring you? Iron sharpens iron. All right. So again, check in with me. Would love to know where you're tuning in from. And guys, if this message has been helpful for you in any way, encouraged you, or maybe just got you out of bed, all right, get your butt up. Let's go. I want you to share it with a friend. All right. And don't forget to subscribe to the regular Who You Know Show podcast. That's where we go a lot deeper, okay, into career, wealth, health, business, relationships, faith, financial freedom, you name it. We talk about it. And I bring other champions onto the show to discuss, the things that have helped them reach high levels of success and overcome obstacles in their life. So make sure you subscribe to the Who You Know Show podcast. And remember, champions, all right? Remember. Storms are always going to come. The snakes are going to bite. All right, it's going to happen. We're going to go through it. But God promises always stand. All right, so shake it off. Keep your courage. All right, and step into this week stronger, bolder, and ready for your comeback. All right, so let's rock. Let's roll. Let's go. Hope y'all have an amazing, blessed day. Let's kick off this week strong, and let's keep going. Have a blessed, amazing day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.